these yak are still wild in nature. Okay, wild in nature means not yet domesticated. Okay, domesticated means in some part they have domesticated, but people are not rearing the yak in their household. Okay, that's why it is called wild. Okay, wild they are, or you can say semi-wild. Okay, semi-wild type. So in early summer, when the pasture is covered with lush growing long grasses, so as I already discussed, in the summer time, the pasture land means in the hilly region, it used to be covered with the long grasses. Okay, so that time the fodder also used to be abundant, and they used to spend less time for their feeding purpose. Okay, but during winter time, you see, when the pasture is covered with the thick layer of snow, this line. Okay, during the winter season, when the pasture is covered with thick layer of snow, yak mostly uses hoof, horn, head, and muzzle for digging the snow layer. Okay, sometimes they used to dig out the snows so that they can take out the grasses from the this one between below the snows. Okay, but most of the time they find it very difficult. Okay, that is why they used to come down to the hill region. Okay, and the last point is, during the scarcity period, the yak continued to consume even stem and leaves of the residual wilted grasses available during the spring season. Now coming to this is the picture showing the yak graze in a snow valley. Okay, so during the winter period, you see they are still grazing. Okay, but if a snowfall is very heavy, and if the grasses are not at all available, so in that time they used to come down to the hills. So you see the Tibetan nomad. This is the picture taken from the Tibet. So Tibetan nomad forced from grazing land winter campers. Okay, so during the winter period, forcefully the nomad, they are taking their animals below the hills. Okay, or down to the hills. Now this is the grasses. Okay, so this is the grasses for scientific feeding of the yak. Okay, so one is about the pasture grass and the other one is tree leaves. So pasture grass means, what is pasture grass? Pasture grass means which is available in the ground level. Okay, in the pasture land, you can say the pasture land. But tree fodder means the different types of tree leaves. Okay, so tree leaves also sometimes used for feeding purpose. So you see, tree leaves are fed primarily during the fodder scarcity period. Okay, when the fodder availability is less, that time the people used to go for tree fodder. Okay, and you can say during the winter time also, when the pasture land is used to covered with the snowfall, that time the tree fodder is used for feeding purpose. So you see, these are the some fodder. Okay, pasture as well as some tree fodder. So this picture, Blemkar, this is the tree fodder. Okay, this is not pasture. So this Mar also, this is tree fodder which is available in the higher altitude. Okay, in the hilly mountain, and during the scarcity period, these tree leaves are used for feeding purpose. Okay, feeding to the yak. So these are very, very important tree leaves. So you see, this is Sauli, then Maketpa, then Dactylus. Okay, these Dactylus and Trifolium, these are the pasture. Okay, you see their level. Okay, they are mostly grown in the ground level. Okay, and this is the pasture land. This is also pasture land, and these are tree leaves. So you see, this is the pasture land. Okay, trial plot for pasture development. Okay, so this pasture is developed for grazing by the yaks. Okay, maybe during the winter or during the summer period. Okay, so this is how scientific feeding can be done to the yak. Okay, so that they can survive during the winter as well as during the summer time. So the different factors affecting the grazing behavior of the yak. So what are the different factors affecting the grazing behavior of the yak? So first one is season. Okay, season I already explained. Okay, so this point you please remember. Okay, the factor affecting the grazing behavior of the yak. Okay, so first factor is season. So during winter they will come to the down, but during summer they used to be remain in the, or they used to go to the up of the mountain. Okay, and they can graze in the pasture available in the hilly mountains. Okay, so these are vice versa. During summer they will go up, during winter they will come to the town. Okay, so this is the major factor which affects their grazing behavior. Okay, grazing behavior means their feeding behavior. Okay, so that is this one is the major and most important, that is season. Then harvest cover and season. Okay, that is already explained, harvest cover and season. Second, you see the energy spent for grazing is higher in winter season when compared to the summer season. Why it is so, Saptarna? The energy spent for grazing is higher in winters when compared to the summer season. Why?
So can you repeat it once more?
Yes, can you answer the second point? The energy spent for grazing is higher in winter season when compared to the summer season. Why? Somadev?
Yes, sir.
Can you answer this point? The energy spent for grazing is higher in winter season when compared to summer season. Why it is so?
Well, sir, the energy spent is higher in winter season because, sir, the yaks have to travel to the lower side of the hill. They have to walk for a long distance, and they again return after grazing to their habitat, means to the upper side of the hill. So they have to.
Actually, okay, you are correct, Somadev, but you remember, okay, why it is so? Because during winter time, the availability of the grasses is low. Okay, used to be less. Okay, that is why for searching the grasses they used to travel long distance. Okay, so that is why they spend more energy. Okay, they spend more energy compared to the summer, because summer there is no snowfall, and the pasture as well as the other leaves also, it is abundant, used to be abundant. Okay, so that is why the energy spent for grazing is higher in winter season when compared to the summer season. Okay, so you can justify this point because during winter the fodder availability is less than the summer. Okay, simple. Okay, then the third point, during hot and humid season when lush growing pasture is available, they spend relatively less time, okay, to satisfy their appetite, whereas in winter they require to spend much more time in search of feed. Okay, so that is the answer. Okay, so why they are spending more energy? Because to search of feed, okay, during the winter time. Now the next point is the grazing time. So the grazing time means out of 24 hours, so one day is 24 hours. Okay, so out of 24 hours, if you go through the time budgeting, suppose human beings, okay, what we are doing, okay, so in generally human beings, we used to sleep for 8 to 10 hours, okay, or 5 to 8 hours some people. Okay, so rest time someone means for official work or study purpose. So the time budgeting is there for human being also, for animals also. So the animal also, out of 24 hours for dairy cattle, they used to spend 10 to 12 hours or sometimes 12 to 14 hours for resting time. Okay, then their feeding time is 2 to 3 hours. Then this one, then rumination time, and these are some other activity also it is there. Okay, out of 24 hours. So like this for animal also, like for yak, the grazing time is normally 34 to 80% of the total time available for grazing. Okay, the remaining time they spend for walking, resting, drinking, and mastication. Okay, so the grazing time is very, very high in case of yak, because they are means in generally they used to graze in the pasture land, okay, for searching of feed. So this grazing time also it used to increase during the winter time than the summer, if you compare with the summer. Then the next point is when it comes to the feeding management, the next important point is salt feeding. Okay, so salt feeding, the purpose is this salt, this is a source of sodium chloride. Okay, this sodium is an important minerals. Okay, minerals so this sodium, as you know, this balance the body fluid. Okay, the sodium is also very, very important to supply to the animal. And the other purpose is, as I already discussed, these yaks are semi-domesticated. Okay, suppose if any person is keeping 30 or 40 number of yak, so they are not keeping their yaks in the household. Okay, like the cattle and buffalo. You have seen in our farm also we are keeping around 20-30 cattle in a cow shed. Okay, but for cattle there is no such housing system and all. Okay, so people, how they are managing, they are just rearing this yak in the wild forest. Okay, in the deep forest. So then how to identify their animal? So suppose if any farmer is keeping 30 or 40 yaks, so how to identify the animals, their animals? So that is why the farmers, what they used to do, they used to offer salt, okay, in their house. So this yak, they are having great craving for salt. Okay, so because of this salt feeding, they used to come to visit their farmer's house. Okay, so by this behavior only, or by this salt feeding, the farmer also, they used to know how many yaks they are having and which one is means of their. Okay, so like this way, salt feeding is very, very important because the yak have great craving for salt licking. Okay, this habit has been used to attract the animal and they return to pasture to obtain their salt on the fixed day and time. So salt is fed at weekly or fortnight interval. So this salt feeding is very, very important to return back of the yak to their household. Okay, otherwise the animal will not return to their household, and the farmers also, they will not be able to know how many animals they are having and which one is their animals. Okay, so that is why salt feeding is very important. Then the water intake. So water intake, in generally the yak, they normally drink stream water. Then in the absence of this stream water, they used to lick the snow. Okay, so this snow also, they are getting some water from the licking of the snow during the winter time. Then daily water intake, it ranges from 9 liter. So that is a study done by Tiwari and co-worker in the year 1991. So they have seen one adult yak used to drink 9 liter of water in a day. So now one news came. I do not know whether you people are aware about this incident or not. So in the year 2019, so around 300 Himalayan yaks of the state of Sikkim died because of starving. Okay, so because of starving, why they died? Because of heavy snowfall. You see, following very heavy snowfall, the residents asked for help to provide feed for their herd of around 1,500 yak. Okay, so as I already said, during the if there is heavy snowfall during the winter time, the pasture availability in the hilly region is very limited. Okay, chance is very limited. So in that time, you need to offer some feed. Okay, some feed like tree leaves. Okay, if it is available, or some other dry leaves also. Otherwise, you have to shift them down to the hills. Okay, as soon as possible. Otherwise, they may die because of starvation. Okay, so this incident happened in the year 2019 in the state of Sikkim. So because of the heavy snowfall, around 300 yaks died because of starvation. Okay, so that is why scientific management, feeding management is very, very important. Okay, so if any person is rearing or keeping yak in the higher altitude, means yaks generally they are domesticated or they are distributed in the high altitude, but when it comes to their feeding management, you need to keep some surplus feed. Okay, you need to, means the farmer, they need to keep some surplus dry fodder. Okay, so that they can use in the time of heavy snowfall, if there is heavy snowfall. Otherwise, this animal may die because of this starvation. Okay, so this is about the incidents. Okay, then the major threat for wild yak. Okay, what are the major threat for this yak husbandry? So first one is excessive hunting. Okay, so as this hunting, I hope all of you know, for this hunting is causing damage to the wildlife species also, means different wildlife species like this one cattle, okay, sorry, this lion, tiger, then other wildlife species. So this hunting is creating or poaching, okay. So this illegal poaching and hunting, this is causing serious threat to wildlife species, okay, like wild yak also. Then resource competition, okay, resource competition. The most important cause of human-wild conflicts in the Himalayan are competition for forage resources, because the humans also they are using the land for cultivation. Okay, so if human beings are using their land for cultivation, so the availability of pasture in the hill region is getting lesser and lesser. Okay, so that is why this yak and human, they are competing for the resources available in the higher altitude. Okay, this is also one of the reason why the number of yak is getting reduced day by day. Then habitat destruction. Okay, habitat destruction. I hope all of you know. As you know, these yaks are wild type, semi-wild type, and they used to this one. Competition for forage resources has led to habitat destruction. Okay, habitat destruction, and this habitat fragmentation and reduced access to forage resources for wild yak. So habitat destruction also is one of the major threat for reducing the population of this yak population. Okay, then disease transmission. Also it is there. Like for domestic yak, also some wild species also, if they are suffering from any disease, so treatment is not given immediately like the other domesticated animals like cattle, buffalo, or poultry, okay, or sheep and goat or pig. So as they are still wild in nature, so disease transmission, if it is there, or if any disease emerges, so because of this availability of these medicines and other precautionary measures, they are dying because of this some disease transmission also. So this disease transmission also one of the major threat of their population, reducing their population. Now this yak is very important for the Tibetan as well as the nomadic people, those who are staying in the higher altitude. Okay, higher altitude means at the level, or you can say in between 2,000 to 5,000 meter above mean sea level. And this yak can live in the plateau areas, I have already explained, and people, they call it the boat on the plateau. Okay, you remember, okay, this yak is called the boat on the plateau. Okay, because why it is called boat? Because this yak is used for carrying the goods, okay, from one place to another place in the high hilly region. Okay, as well as the transportation of purpose also. Transportation means for transporting people also from one place to another place. If any people wants to travel one place to another place, they are using this yak ride. Okay, so this that is why the yak is also called as the boat on the plateau. So this is about today's class. Okay, so when it comes to the feeding management, you please remember the seasonal availability is one of the major factor which determines their feeding behavior. Okay, feeding behavior means during the winter time they used to come to the down of the hill. Then during summer time they used to go to the hilly regions. Okay, and second point is during the summer the pasture availability is more compared to the winter season because of this heavy rainfall and this one snow. Okay, heavy snowfall. So because of this heavy snowfall, the pasture also it used to cover with the thick snow layer. That is why the availability used to get reduced. Then about their this one, salt leaking behavior. Okay, salt leaking, why it is important? So it is supplying and it is maintaining the body fluid. Okay, so sodium chloride is maintaining the sodium balance, and the other purpose is to return back the yak from their owner's house. Okay, so by this salt feeding behavior, the animal time to time they used to visit their owner's house. Okay, so otherwise you cannot count how many yak the any person is having or the farmer is having. Okay, for count their number also, that salt feeding behavior, and they are offering salt. Okay, this practice is very, very important for yak as well as for mithun also. So then coming to their this one major threat, when comes to threat, so that is the excessive hunting, then resource competition, then habitat destruction and disease transmission. Okay, you please remember these four points: disease transmission, habitat destruction, then resource competition, and this is hunting. Okay, so this is for today's class. So if you are having any queries regarding this yak husbandry, you may ask. So in next class, I shall be discussing about the different products. Okay, what are the different products? Meat, meat product, and different garments. Okay, so as you know, yak body is covered with the thick hair. Okay, so this hair also sometimes used for making some garments. So, is there any queries regarding the feeding behavior of the yak? Sarmista?
Yes, sir.
Sarmista?
Yes, sir.
What is the scientific name of the yak? What is the scientific name of yak?
Hello, sir.
What is the scientific name of the yak?
So it's boss.
Sarmista?
Sir, I'm not able to recall the specific name, sir. So Gruni.
Okay. So anyone? Rana?
Sir, boss Grunian. Sir, boss Grunian.
Boss?
GRU.
Why it is called boss? Okay, why it is Sarmista? Why it is called?
So because it belongs to the Bovidae family.
Bovidae family. Okay, very good, Bovidae family. But why it is called boss? Why it is called boss? For dairy cattle and buffalo also, boss. Why it is called boss? BOS. Okay. So
the hollow
horn. Okay, very good. So their horn, it is not solid. Okay, so hole is there inside. Okay, so you will be able to see this is like pipe type. Okay, pipe. Okay, so hollow inside. That is why it is called boss. Okay, so for cattle and buffalo also the horn is not solid. Okay, so that is why they are called boss. Okay. So the scientific name of the yak is Bos grunians. Okay. So what about the chromosome numbers? What is the chromosome number?
60. Sir, 60.
60. 60. Okay. Okay. Very good. Very good summary. Then, Sarmista.
Yes, sir.
What is the difference between yak and dairy cattle?
So the yak has got
okay, in respect to their body features.
Yes, sir. The yak has got the compact body shape. They also have a small dewlap, or like they don't have any distinct dewlap. Their
Okay.
appendages are also small compared to the cattle's and buffaloes.
Okay. Okay.
And they have very long and dense hair, which covers their whole body for giving them warmth, sir.
Okay. Then.
Sir, they are also having a greater lung capacity, due to which they can have more oxygen.
Okay, very good. Then continue. So many
Sir, they
points are
also-
there.
Yes, sir. So they also
You
have,
just have a look the picture, then you distinguish. Okay, the character of yak with the dairy cattle. Okay, you just have a look the picture.
yes, sir. So they also have the hair color is black, due to which they absorb more heat, sir, from the surrounding.
Okay, very good.
Also, sir, they have negligible sweat glands, which are non-functional, due to which heat dissipation is less,
Okay.
sir, thereby preserving their
Okay, very good,
normal
very
body
good.
temperature. Yes, sir.
Okay. So this character helps them to survive in the high altitude. Okay, higher altitude. Yeah, you can say more than 2000 to 5000, in between 2000 to 5000 meter. Okay, above mean sea level. Okay. So this is about this yak husbandry. Okay, so whatever Sarmishta discussed, this point you please remember. Okay, these are very, very important, and it will help you to understand the yak husbandry. Okay, so if you before knowing to any any animals behavior or any animals this one, so first of all you should know about their normal body features. Okay, so their feeding behavior, their breeding behavior, okay, whatever behavior, it is related to their body features only. So how they are surviving this on higher altitude, so already it is explained by Sarmishta. Okay, so these are the some important points you please remember. Okay, then coming to their feeding behavior, so feeding behavior, it is mostly affected by the season. Okay, so you remember, okay, season, then the importance of salt feeding, and lastly about their this one. Okay, threat. Okay, what are the different, okay, different threats they are facing. Okay, so due to this domestication, then feed resource competition. Okay, so all those points you please remember. So this is for today's class. Okay, so so should I stop here? So the notes related to this yak husbandry, I will upload in the Google Classroom itself. Okay, is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Samadi.
Thank you, sir.
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 Thank you, sir.